Hello, hello. Alright, well, by means of introduction, I want to say I am going to attempt to play through, at the very least, the first Dark Souls game, and record myself doing so, um, hopefully to kind of impress upon anybody who decides to watch this why I enjoy this series, why I actually find a lot of personal connection with it, and why I think it is one of the greatest games that has ever been created. Bold statements, I know, or maybe not so bold if you don't care much about gaming. Either way, I'm feeling rather meditative right now, rather thoughtful. I'm coming off the heels of just having completed the Mass Effect Legendary Trilogy, which, also one of my favorite gaming franchises. Uh, so yeah, feeling a little thoughtful, a little heady, if you will. Um, so perhaps we will jump into some Dark Souls here and just see what's going on in the land of Lordran. Hopefully my face cam does not infringe too much upon the text going on around here. It shouldn't. The UI is such that my inventory is in the bottom left part of the screen, so you shouldn't miss anything. It's also a lot louder than Mass Effect was. And I don't have PlayStation Plus, so I will continue offline. I did create a game earlier, but I think I'm just going to start brand new. Been fond of playing as female characters lately. Not sure why. I think I have just been enjoying exploring, experiences that I cannot live here in my own life now today. So I think I had considered going and doing a brand new run with a brand new class I'd never played as before in the first game, but I think for this, since I'm going to kind of use this run, I don't know, as kind of an archetypal experience for this game, I might do something a little bit more familiar to myself and go pyro, because man oh man, some pyromancy and some pretty decent strength here at the beginning make for a very fun run. And if I even make it this far, the old witch's ring will become relevant much later. But this is the starting gift that I will be given. A lot of these gifts are some of them have fairly simple uses. Master Key is kind of, any kind of locked door you might find, and the early game can be opened with it. Fire bombs, it is it is a better version of the regular fire bomb, or as this little description says, than the STD bomb, which is no joke on its own, I'm sure. But yeah, Old Witch's Ring. Ancient ring with no obvious effect. That effect will be made more obvious much later into this run. I will have an average physique because I'm not picky. I'm going to go over to customize a little bit. And really, I'm probably just going to do my hair a little bit. Man, the severe pullback on that, seeing your scalp. I think I like the bun pretty well. I'll go with a red bun. Character customization. They make this more explicit in later games. In the Dark Souls series, customer customization. No, character customization. I'm tired. Um, is not. It has no bearing on gameplay, no matter what your physique, your gender, any of that stuff. It is just purely customization. So I always feel free to just kind of make whatever I want. A lot of people will make absolute monsters, but I like to have a little bit of connection with my character, so I tend not to do that. Hopefully this audio is not too jarring. I just considered that my television audio might be coming through on the computer, so I'm gonna try and not duplicate that too hard. And we'll start the game, and we will experience the intro cinematic setting up the world of Lordran. Disparity. This is essentially the creation story of this world. Rave Lord Nito. There is our faithful Gwen. Her Zeus parallel. Best not forget those pygmies, they become relevant much later on. So these lords took the surface of the world from the ancient dragons. In clear mythology fashion, it's not really clear who good guys and bad guys are. It just kind of tells a difference, a happening in the ancient world, including a betrayal. Right. Soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. And therein lies our role in this game. Bit of a lore spoiler here, but that's Gwen's doing. Here we are in the actual game engine itself. Someone might want to check me on that. Gwen did that comment. I could be misremembering something. This is not meant to be the most in-depth lore playthrough, just more of a why this has a personal connection to me. This is my fate. My beautiful, lovely woman that I created sits in a cell alone. And goodness gracious, I'm made of beef jerky. Blech. Oh. But I have a rescuer, perhaps. Or some dude who just dumped a corpse down here for no reason. We'll see. Alright. Here we are in Northern Undead Asylum. As you can see, I am no longer what I created in the starting menu. I am undead. And this is what undeath looks like here in this world. But I've got a little resource here, a little corpsey corpse, which has the key to my cell. So it appears that man was trying to help me. These little messages that appear throughout the game that'll give you hints and tips and all that. Other people can leave them too if you're playing online, but alas, I am not. It's a little bit cruel to kill him, but that's some of the attack animations that you can see in the game. This big boy is a warden of this undead prison. We don't know what or who it is yet, but that is the function of them. Most of the undead have simply lost their mind and are, well, as the narrator said, waiting the end of the world. Simple as that. All these little signs on the ground just give you control tips, which I've played this game a few times, so I don't really need to be reminded of the controls. I'll say that now and then quickly forget how to do something really important. We hear the bonfire, the first of our checkpoints. It is lit. If you rest at a bonfire, you recover all your health, all of your health restorative potions, which are called Estus flasks in this world. But conversely, every enemy in the area will also respawn. So that dude I killed is back now. He's down in there. Just have to take my word for that. Anyway, continuing forward. It's kind of unclear what our character motivation is here. We're just kind of moseying. You know, we've been set free. We don't know where our benefactor went, and we're just kind of moseying around the castle. And here comes one of them wardens. Oh, and he hit me. Oh no. And I'm just gonna get out of here. Whew. He's hanging out down there now. He was pretty miffed at me for getting out of my cell. That's okay. We'll have a stern conversation with him later. Again, health is back, thanks to the handy-dandy bonfire. Get my shield. Yeah, I do need to get my shield. Good news is, my shield is right here. Open up a little menu here. Equipped my terrible shield in my left hand. And we're gonna get going here. Whoop. He runs away when he realizes we're not afraid of him. Pillage his friend here. And get an actual decent weapon. Well, decent for now. It's the one trade-off of playing a pyromancer. Your starting weapon is okay, but it doesn't stay very okay for very long. 2 hits. Not terrible. A lot of this game is stat-based, as you can see from the screen. my attack, my health, my stamina, my defense, the various status effects that I can resist. And they all have a number assigned to them, and I will increase those numbers as the game goes on by leveling up, by acquiring souls, which you see in the bottom right there. I have 40 of them. Let's see where that put me out. Oh, I'm above my original checkpoint here. He shut the door on me again, but that's okay. Yep, you can roll in this game. Kind of a natural defensive option, or sprint. That door didn't open from the other side, so I just didn't attempt it, but yeah, back out in the courtyard. Nice and easy. But we're gonna get our first little lore bit here. Well, not first, the intro was lore, but gonna get a little lore here in a second after I get this dude to try and punk me. But he did not. Ah. I found my benefactor. Let's have a chat with him. It doesn't look like he's doing too great. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. So undeath is a pretty known quantity in this world. You know, he is aware that once he dies as an undead, he will return to life and be a little bit less sane for it. So he has a request for me as a fellow undead person.
There's an old saying in my family: thou art undead on the shelter, and thine exodus from the undead asylum, make a pilgrimage to the land in which he dwells, when thou ringest the bell of awakening. The faith of the undead thou shalt. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask.
An undead favorite. Huzzah!
Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now. Thank you.
So here is a bit of a bitter version of what you might call immortality in this world. It's called undeath, and really all it does is prevent you from moving on to whatever comes after life. Undeath is a curse, and so like me, the rest of the undead have been corralled up here, basically to rot, because the more times you die, the more hollow you become, the more you lose your sanity, your grip on reality, and become a menace to everyone around you. So this is a curse that people haven't been able to figure out yet. And so we just learned from Oscar here that he was making a pilgrimage to the land of Lordran to ring the Bell of Awakening, to find out the fate of the undead. And he described that to us in very like flowery thee and thou, ye old English language, which I think is a cool touch because it kind of gives this air of significance of this, you know, classic, almost religious sanctity about his quest to ring this Bell of Awakening. So it's, you know, we have a directive now. We've promised Oscar we're going to ring the Bell of Awakening. We're going to finish his mission. We're going to find the fate of the undead. And sadly, Oscar has died. We just got his souls from his death. we decided to flex on that dude a little bit, parry him. Hopefully Oscar gave us the key for this door. Different attacks and stuff they're teaching us. Nothing super significant. I found my pyromancy flame. Let's see if I can now. I'm gonna have to take this guy out first. I will probably put that in my left hand. But yeah, as a pyromancer I can do fire magic, and it's pretty dope in this game. Boom. Now there's another dude in there, but I don't really feel the need to encounter him at the moment. There's another contextual thing that's, you know, it's fairly obvious once I go through this door, but they're teaching me how to do a plunging attack while falling, and that will become relevant in just a moment. Because I am about to have words with the Grave Warden, who is really called the Asylum Demon. And a good tip for these guys, really big enemies, is to just stick to their behind and give it a good thwack. Like it ain't nothing. So we got the big Pilgrim's Key and a Humanity, which will become relevant later. For now, the Pilgrim's Key is what we need. We are out of the Asylum. Good job. Go straight ahead. It's about all the praise Dark Souls is going to give you. Except for praising the sun. Which, again, more about that later. But yeah, we've made it out. If you're wondering, I'm playing this on the PS5 because I do not yet have the capability to stream from my computer and monitor the stream quality and all that, so I will be streaming through the PS5 to my computer because I'm new at this and trying to get this whole recording thing down. But yeah, we have made it out of the Asylum. Not a lot around here, but let's approach this prominent cliff edge here.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that the undead and undead shall return. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lord.
We have reached Lordran, which is exciting, because in Lordran, as the statement just said, you can level up and kindle at bonfires. Which is obtuse, like most things in this game. But leveling up is probably pretty self-explanatory if you've played many video games. Kindling is essentially making the bonfire bigger, which is helpful because a bigger bonfire yields more Estus when you rest at it. I had 5 before, And I have 10 now because this bonfire has been kindled already. So for now, I think I will level up a bit. And I'm going for a fairly sturdy build here. Strong boy. Gonna try and be a big strong boy, so I'm gonna level some endurance, strength, and dexterity. Make sure I can wield the kind of weapons I'm gonna want to wield later on. But yeah, as you upgrade these stats on the left, your numbers, designations, and all that will change. Over on the right, you'll see the effects of them as you get stronger and use the souls that you have acquired. So I think I am good with this enforcement. Boom. Cool. I've leveled up. Now, I'm going to run over here, grab a few more humanity, or humanidades, I'm guessing. The Spanish version, maybe. I only know a little bit of Spanish. But, here is kind of one of the first points of interest I want to hit in terms of explaining why I love this game. Beyond its notorious difficulty and obtuse storytelling and varied combat, the way it presents the world to you, I think, is pretty unique in gaming. And maybe in fiction? I can't say that super authoritatively. I would not go so far as to say that Dark Souls is the only thing to ever do something like this, ever. But talking to this gentleman here will yield one of my favorite tidbits, I guess, about the beginning of this game, if you pay attention to what he's talking about. So, let's give him a chat.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fated the Undead, right? But there's no celebration here. You'd have done better to look to the Undead Asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you. There are, actually, two bells of awakening. One's up above the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins of the base of Blood Tower. In them both hangs something powerful. Will you try? Help me check it out. Oh, stay. Tell me, let me go. Tis fun game, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead.
So what we learned from this man, who is, I'm pretty sure he's just called the Crestfallen Knight, which is probably pretty self-explanatory. We leave the Asylum convinced that we are some chosen undead sent on pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords to ring the bell of awakening. And almost immediately when you arrive in this land of ancient lords, you are told that you're not the first to come out of that asylum. You are not the first quote-unquote chosen undead. In fact, it almost seems like a regular occurrence. This man's been sitting here, probably feels sorry for the little undead creatures crawling out of the asylum, and says, well, let me give you a hand, since you clearly don't know what you're doing. Significantly, he tells us there are two bells of awakening, not just one, that are in vastly different portions of Lordran, and that once you ring them, even he doesn't know what happens. So there's this prophecy, this mandated from the gods, genuinely, this mandate to ring these bells of awakening, to, as we will see a little bit later, to preserve the Age of Fire. They hinted at that at the intro cinematic. You want to actually continue the way that this world has existed for as long as it has. But immediately upon arriving, you find that what you've been told is not necessarily true. you've had a bit of an unreliable narrator up to this point. Several, in fact. And it's something I love about this game. Characters within it exist as beings in this world. They're not just there for tutorials for the player. They're people, and they don't have all the answers. They sometimes don't have any answers, or know at all what they're talking about. So if you're following along with the story, which you don't have to. Obviously, it's a video game. You can just run around and hit stuff. But if you are at all, you're suddenly here in Lordran like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing. So I find that fascinating. It's a little bit of a subversion of these classic, like, you are now the chosen one because you are the player kind of tropes, Just because you're the person participating in this doesn't mean that you are the end-all be-all for this whole world. You could be, but they go out of their way here at the beginning to say you probably aren't. And if you talk to him again, he'll say a few different things here. Going hollow could solve quite a bit. Well, we know that when you go hollow, you kind of go mad. Kind of lose your memory a little bit, and maybe he thinks that that's a little bit preferable to trying to exist in this hopeless, accursed land. Bleak. But this humanity item I can use to gain humanity, which is that little number on the top left there. I now have a humanity. And because I have a humanity, I can spend it at this bonfire, reverse my own hollowing, and become a beautiful young woman again, as I was born to be. I forget if his dialogue changes now.
Stairs up the walls and access the Undead Burg through the water. The other bells back down below the Undead Burg within a infested light town. But I'll die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
He's got the right idea about Blighttown. He really does. Since this game has been re-released on new consoles, it runs buttery smooth, 60 frames per second, which is lovely. But Blighttown is still an issue, to say the least. I'm going to follow his instructions. Go on up to the Undead Burg. Man, this axe does not stay good for long. Luckily, I am also a pyromancer. Neat. Okay, you can't hit me now. No backstab? Okay. I've fought all these gentlemen plenty of times, so I'm rather accustomed to how they choose to come down and fight me. But yeah, it's not a whole lot to go on, and genuinely, there are a lot of people I'm sure that come through here and just never talk to that guy. Maybe don't see him, don't notice him, so they don't know to come up here as kind of the way the game gently guides you toward your next objective. I do not want to be poisoned right now. Thank you, Mr. Rat. But yeah, there are other directions you can go from your initial bonfire, but they are, oh boy, they are something else for a beginning player. This is certainly the least obstructive way to go when you're starting out the game, to Undead Burg. It's a lovely little town, full of people who still do want to do you harm. Luckily they are not much, comparatively. Sometimes they do try to get numbers on their side. Have a seat, sir. But if you stay methodical, don't get freaked out. They're not too bad. That was a fog wall. You'll find plenty in this series. They basically just exist to give a little barrier between certain areas. If you're going on your first time through the game, it might be unclear whether just more area lies behind it, or a boss, or something more sinister, like a dragon. Welcome to Dark Souls. I love that moment. I love the camera angle too when you come up out of that staircase. First you obviously see the dragon, but then he kind of points your eye upward to everything else in this area. The walkway up there, the soldiers on the ramparts that are directly in your way. I'm gonna start firing arrows at you and everything else. It's a great way to draw the gamer's eye up so that you know what you're getting into. Yeah, my axe isn't gonna stop those arrows very well. Backstab you. When you're backstabbing, you are fairly invincible, so I didn't have to worry about his crossbow bolt hitting me. I'm gonna get a better shield, because man, this one's not good. I don't think I'm mid-rolling. Your equipment load determines how fast you can roll, and luckily I'm still rolling very quickly. Right. Crossbowman taken care of. I run in here, find my first checkpoint bonfire. Ooh, feels good. I can level up a bit here. Yeah, I kind of do want my strength up pretty early. There's a weapon I'm going for in this area that I want to be able to wield when I get it. But like I said, resting respawns all the enemies, because guess what? They're undead. So that's the conceit here, right? That it's not just a gameplay thing. It doesn't just make the game harder. That when you go and sit at a checkpoint, the enemies respawn. There's an in-world reason why they do. Enemies come back because, like you, they're undead. This world is afflicted with undeath. So anytime the world is reset in any way, they come back as well. It is genuinely brilliant the way that this game incorporates gameplay considerations with its actual lore. And if you've made it this far into this video, in whatever way you end up seeing it, you probably realized I'm going to be praising this game up and down quite often. I'm going to do that because I genuinely love it. It's also tempting sometimes, as you go through certain areas, to view non-player characters and, man, just get a good look at this guy. Glowing eyes, really thin white hairs on his head, just the deadest mouth you've ever seen. It'd be tempting to just take a swing at him, but if you get close enough, you realize he's not attacking you. He doesn't have a weapon. You can talk to him.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, don't you? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
Turns out he's a merchant.
And everything's for sale.
So he can give you a couple cool things here. Residence key is nice. I don't have quite enough for that yet. I could... Man, I probably should just go ahead and get a club. Yeah, it's got bleeding effect too. short bow couldn't hurt either. But I may have to just grind a little bit for some of those things. I'm gonna get a few arrows for when I do get a bow. He's got a little bit more armor here, which, again, might come back and grab. Interestingly, the...
Thank you kindly.
Thank you kindly. The experience that you use to level up is also your currency. So souls are a real thing. It's not just an experience thing for you in the game. Souls exist to be traded, to be used, to be a catalyst for growth in some ways. Just a little mechanic consideration there. So this swings a little slower than my axe. It's a bit of a punishment if you swing and don't hit someone, but I expect to be hitting most of the dudes I'm swinging at here. And I can one-shot them too, which is important. Woo! Also physics. Havoc physics engine, ladies and gentlemen. And everyone in between. Get a little bit of a throwing knife. And, you might have seen this a little earlier, from this height, and jump down into there, which jumping, I should make sure I know what the jump button is. I said earlier that I know the controls, and here I am ensuring that I actually do know the controls. Dash, roll, backstep, jump. Okay, that's right. So I need to hold the dash button and then press... I think I want to change that actually. Jump shall be L3. Yep, save changes. I think that's better. Yeah, I like that. Better than double tapping B, which is not intuitive. I mean, even that's not intuitive, but, you know, Dark Souls. Hey. Someone's throwing fire bombs at me. I don't care all that much. Crossbow. Standard bolt. And I'm pretty sure all I can do is... Ah, yes. I did sit at that bonfire, didn't I? Got a soul item here. Gosh dang it. Yeah. I should have considered that. Ooh boy, double. Yeah, we're just making our way through the Undead Burg. Searching for my lost shaker of soul. Calm down. Calm down. Gentlemen. Good. Picked up actual trash, which is another thing in Souls games. You can sometimes go out of your way to find literal garbage. Okay. Thank you, Dark Souls. And he is... Oh, right behind me. Okay. Wow, he's right up on me. Alright, good thing we still have some Estus. Take a swig of that sweet, sweet Sunny D. He might have had an item on him. I was not looking. Oh well. dragon doesn't come back, because that was just a little special teaser. A preview of coming attractions, if you will. But yeah, so we rounded that back out again. I got a new weapon. I cannot quite level up again, but what I can do is use this soul item I received to give myself a few more, and then level up. Gotta get that endurance up. I'm gonna be wearing some heavy clothing. Later on, of course. See, that went from 4 hits to 2 hits, which is a good feeling. Now, a lot of angry boys here, but I am relatively sure that I can simply dash past them. They're gonna try and intimidate me with their fiery bombs. Oof. Get off me. Okay. I may have just realized something that I am missing that will help me greatly if I go procure it. Yes. Got that black fire bomb. Once again, much better than the STD bomb. And, much more straightforward. May just have to have a go at some of these gentlemen here. Excuse me, sir. Might I take your souls? Saving up to get some sweet bling. By bling, I mean just a key. Oh. Spearmans are quite annoying because they can attack with their shield up. And you can too. It's not universal for this whole game, but generally, humanoid enemies and you follow the same rule sets in terms of their combat abilities. So, if an enemy can use a spear to attack while their shield is up, you can do the same.
Oh, there you are. Start getting your marbles all together. And go ahead, don't be a nitwit. Never hurts to splurge when the day isn't out good.
Don't be a nitwit. I'm not a nitwit.
I just noticed his eyes stopped glowing. I wonder what that is. I've not noticed that before. I'm probably going to be noticing a few things that I haven't before, since I'm paying attention enough to try and communicate them. So I just bought the residence key.
Come back soon.
He's actually got one more cool thing to tell us.
I hope you brought plenty of salt.
If you talk to him,
Things are getting treacherous in these parts. A horrible goat demon is moving below. And up above, there's a humongous drake and a bull demon too. If you stick around this place, it might end up being your grave.
Nee-hee-hee-hee-hee indeed.
What a waste of time. Go and fall off a cliff.
Yeah, he's mad I didn't spend any more souls, but that's okay. He can be mad. It's either be mad or go mad. Know what I'm saying? There's a shot I might be able to go up and encounter that bull demon that he mentioned before I'm done here tonight. We shall see. keeping a level head is genuinely 90% of the battle in Dark Souls. And knowing the game fairly well, I will say. I shouldn't say it's as simple as just not freaking out, because sometimes it's pretty obtuse and you kind of have to learn the game. So this door would have been locked had I not gotten that residence key. And I like to open this door because it lets me come out here and raid this person's backyard and get some gold pine resin, which again is a helpful tool that will become relevant later. I'm gonna go up this tower because I already know that there is just an annoying little boy up here who would have kept firing crossbow bolts at me the whole time I was trying to get forward. Oh, hello. Come to visit me. Surprised his walk cycle took him up here. But yeah, this is your taste of the undeath in this world. Oh, yeah, I knew he'd hit me. He's gonna glug glug. Again, enemy rule sets are similar to mine. Some of them can even sip that sweet Sunny D. This gentleman has a surprise for me up here, where he sets a barrel on fire. Sets a barrel on fire, there it is. Tries to kill me with it. Alright, calm down. Woo! Fizz X. Yep, I don't think I can enter that door yet. So I'm gonna head up this tower toward where that gentleman said the Drake and the Bull Demon were. There's nothing in here. Sometimes you like to go barrel bowling. What I'm gonna do is equip that pine resin that I got earlier. See, yeah, my boots are better. I've got my old witch's ring on. It's not doing anything right now, but it's on. As I said earlier, sometimes the white light can send you to a new area by itself, or it can take you to something that you may not be quite prepared to face if you don't know what you're getting into. So right now, pretty benign, but again, I know there's a ladder right here that is going to take me up to some little boys who just have nothing good planned. I don't know if they just don't have any homework tonight, or their parents don't care that they're out here, but they would be making a lot of mischief if I didn't take care of them. So I'm going to take care of them. And about right here is where I'm gonna want to, well, maybe not. I've got a plan for, you know, what is about to happen. And what is about to happen is a giant Berserk reference. The Taurus demon. He is mean and angry. Woo! Felt the wind on that one. I'm applying some bolt, or not bolt paper, goodness gracious, this is Bloodborne. Oh! My shield isn't going to do me a lot of good against this guy. So I'm just not going to use it. Oh man, that caught me. Gonna take a sip. Get the swing. Oh man, that tracking. Good night. Whew. But luckily, beat him without too much hassle. Whew. Actually got my blood pumping a bit. That weapon tracking, man. Whew. He was on me. So yeah, the Taurus demon. That was that bull demon the merchant mentioned. merchant mentioned, taking up residence up here, and I have killed him. What's nice is that that demon is not just a fluke. That is a thing, and unfortunately, he is not the only one of his kind. For now, though, I'm going to go meet with a friend. This burly chap here is Knight Solaire. So here we have another member of the Astoran community, like Oscar. Solaire is from Astora, and is come to Lordran to seek his very own son. I'm going to tell him yes, because I already know this isn't some pyramid scheme. Well, sure, I could use some help. My initial thoughts about this world have already been debunked, so won't deny that. So this is another thing I love. A game mechanic. Multiplayer is actually justified with an in-world reason. These soapstones allow you to leave summon signs for other people to summon you to their game, and vice versa. So that you can engage in jolly cooperation, or invade and just be generally a jerk to people. Again, I don't have online for PlayStation right now, so I can't really participate in that, but there are non-player characters, NPCs, such as Solaire, that can be summoned throughout the game to help you with difficult passages. So it's just it's a cool in-game way of explaining a mechanic, once again. It's just, they naturally weave that into the game itself, and I really appreciate that about this game. So here we have a pure adherent to the way of sunlight, who wants nothing more than to be as grossly incandescent as the sun itself. A noble ambition. You know, he wants nothing more than purity and light and hope for those around him, in spite of his undead state. His optimism is very unique in this world, especially up to this point. It's been rather bleak what we faced so far. And there's obviously more to say about Solaire, about the way of sunlight, about Lord Gwyn, about the nature of this world itself, and I think I may wait and get into that stuff a little bit later, as we have now gone about an hour, and I myself am somewhat tired. So if this gets actually published anywhere, put up, YouTube, wherever, I'll let people know and hopefully do a few more. runs through like this. Yeah, till then, appreciate anybody going on this journey with me to just kind of discover what I love about Dark Souls and what actual human connection I believe I have made with this video game, this meaningless child's entertainment device. I think it's a lot more than that, and appreciate you listening if you have so far. And I will see you in whatever form this next video takes. Bye-bye.